on Zoom. You might be a little bit desperate to close a deal because you're brand new. I get it. But let me tell you why that's a bad idea. Now, I'm not single. I'm happily married. But back in the day when I was single, and Jamie and I laugh about this, I always played hard to get. And all my friends, like, Nick, how come you have so much good luck with the ladies, you know? Jamie would laugh, you know, like she heard me saying this. But it's because you got to play hard to get men. What does that mean? So if you're single, here's a little tip for you, right? It's the same thing with sales. Some of you sound way too desperate on the phone. The desperation is in your vocal cords. You got to get the desperation out of your vocal cords, people. Hey, William, we can do it right now or later. I just need a sale. I got to pay my rent. Like, that's what you sound like. It's the same thing with dating. Ladies, am I right or wrong? You got a desperate guy back in the day. If you're not single, back in the day when you were single, desperate guy, you're like, ew, get away from me, creep. Guys, it's the same thing with sales. Candace knows, right? You know, it's the same thing with sales. Well, Nick, you don't get it, man. I got to make money. I get it. I'm trying to teach you how to make money. It's called the law of abundance and the law of least interest. Goes hand in hand, booking appointments, closing deals. I don't care if you don't buy. If you don't buy, I'm not filing bankruptcy. If you do buy, I'm not buying a Ferrari. So does the sale really matter that much? No. But you might be like, well, Nick, you know, that's easy for you to say because you're the RGA. I'm a brand new agent. I just had a deal cancel. I get it. But you have to act as if, write this down. Act as if you already have $100,000 liquid in your checking account, $1 million in your savings. How would you present if you were already a millionaire? If you are already getting $30,000 a month in renewals, how would you present? You've got to have the mental discipline to take yourself there. Guys, this is high level stuff that I'm like teaching you. People would pay a lot of money for it. And I'm giving it to you for free. But you got to take yourself there mentally. Like, okay, cool. If I was a millionaire, how would I sound? If I was a top veteran producer, how would I sound? So number one, take the desperation out of your voice. Number two, sense of urgency. Sense of urgency. I'm going to share this story. Guys, I've got a million of them like this. Just for time's sake, I'm going to make it quick. I can't tell you how many times I booked an appointment with a guy or a girl. They no-showed me. And then I came back. The guy gets diagnosed with cancer literally 2 days before I show up to his house. This is back in the day. The guy dies 6 months later. His wife begged me to buy life insurance. Begged me. It's the saddest thing ever. You don't know what tomorrow holds for your clients. We have over 3,000 clients. I don't like calling them leads, but just on our team, we have over 3,000 leads. We don't know who's going to die today, who's going to die tomorrow. We literally do not know. And there's a video that if you haven't watched recently, it's called A Car Full of Chickens by Rick Altig. I would rewatch that video because that's going to instill some belief in you. And Rick shares a story very, very similar to that. And it touches your heart. And whenever your heart gets touched, then you're able to deliver that message to your clients in a way where you get everybody on Zoom that's able to get on Zoom and you close everybody that's closable using something called a sense of urgency. Sense of urgency. Tomorrow's not promised. I'm not sure if I told you about the law of least interest, but the law of least interest states whoever's the least interested in the appointment, that's the person that holds all the control. So I'm going to role play with Will. Hey, Will, listen, man, I'm extraordinarily busy. Good news, bad news. Everyone say out loud, good news, bad news.
Good news, bad news.
Good news, bad news. This is a little Scordo secret here that I'm giving you. Okay. Good news, bad news. Will, the good news is I'm still working in your territory. The bad news is there's this girl named Amanda who's going to be pulling me out of your territory on tomorrow. And so we got to get this thing knocked out today, dude. I need like 15 minutes or else Lord knows the next time that we're going to be. So the good news is, Will, I don't work banker's hours. I'm working till like 9 o'clock tonight because there's a lot of veterans that I got to meet up with before they pull me out of your territory.
All right. So how long, you said only 15 minutes?
See, and so Will's going to ask me, hey man, how long is this going to take? Your response always has to be, Will, the quicker the better for me, because I got like 50 other people that I got to call. So anytime a client asks you, how long is this going to take? Don't tell them 15 minutes. Always respond with the quicker the better, because that's going to entice them to get on the Zoom right now and just knock it out. Hey, Will, do me a favor. Toss me on speaker. Do you have Zoom downloaded? Ask them if they have Zoom downloaded. A lot of your clients have it downloaded. The guy that I sold yesterday, his wife had it downloaded. So I just gave her my meeting ID for my personal Zoom. They jumped right on. Bing, bang, boom. We were done. Okay. Get good at getting people on Zoom right away. If you don't have that Zoom link that Jordan Powell, his guy created, get that Zoom link. It's like $20, the best $20 that you'll spend. That link works like gold. I believe Amanda posted it in GroupMe. If you're not in GroupMe, Amanda will be adding you. I know there's some brand new people here, you know, Kay, Natalie. Get on GroupMe ASAP so that you get in the mix. So let's talk about sense of urgency. Yesterday, I had a guy. And I'm going to talk about closing here. Does anyone have any specific questions about phones? Yesterday, just, you know, our show ratio was almost 60%. So keep doing what you're doing. The phones are working. The shuffles work. Like everything we do works. It's working. But I want to talk about the closing ratio because it was only 27% yesterday. But realize that you got to close them on the phone and be strong on the phone because that strength is going to transfer to the home. Write that down. Strength on the phone will transfer to the home. Weakness on the phone will transfer to the home. So if you're weak and you're timid on the phone, they're gonna walk all over you in the home. If you're strong on the phone, that strength is going to transfer to the presentation. And don't be desperate. Get the desperation out of your voice. You're doing this for them, not to them. Okay, they need this coverage way more than you need the commission. Walk yourself through that, man. What happens if this client dies tomorrow? With this, what happens if they die without this? So yesterday, and you know, I want to role play a little bit. And the question that I want to role play is, do I have to make the decision today? So that's the question that I want to role play today, okay? And so this guy asked me yesterday, hey, Nick, do I have to make the decision today? That kind of sounds a little pushy. And I said, yeah, you know, and you know, like the reason that it's not pushy, Will, is because you own these benefits. Like I said, you control these benefits. You can adjust them at like any point in time. So there's no risk. It's kind of like a no-brainer. So regardless if it's a yes or a no, that's no big deal. But that decision does have to be made today, okay? And this guy's like, well, if that's the case, then I'm not going to buy. I said, okay, that's fine. See ya. How many of you would have walked away from that sale? Maybe you would have been like, okay, I'll call you tomorrow, Joe. He's never going to pick up. If you don't write this down, if you don't get them to sign on the spot, there is a 99% chance they're never going to buy again. So you got to squeeze the read-off letter and put the screws, tighten up the presentation. That decision's being made today, folks. Yes or a no, just in fairness to all the other veterans. And he, you know, then asked me why. And I said, because the thing that you have to understand today, Dario, this is your enrollment period today. Tomorrow is William Bent's enrollment period, and Norma Green, and John Smith. So now if I start bleeding you into their enrollment period and they bleed into someone else's enrollment period, and the next thing you know, it's chaos. So I expounded, and then this guy said, well, then I'm not interested. I said, that's okay, Joe. That's all right. And I said it in that exact same tone. That's okay. And then I rolled his referral, and then I got off the phone. Get off the Zoom, guys. If they're not buyers, get off. Okay. But you have to be okay with getting the wrong people off the Zoom, because you know that there's plenty of fish in your lead pack, man. You got 50 leads, you got 100 leads, you got 100 referrals. There's a sale in that lead pack. And you got to get off the Zoom with the non-sale so that you can go find the sale. Hannah?
So with the bank verification, and like if you were to have a client that, like, say you were holding the application, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
For them to, so that way it didn't draft it. Do you just do the bank verification like right before you fully submit their?
Let me explain to you how I handle do not drafts. I don't like do not drafts. I don't do them. And I'm very real with people. And again, I'm gonna have like an kind of like an uncomfortable conversation with them. I'm gonna say, you know, Hannah, what dates, you know, between the, well, today's the 29th, right? So like we can't do the 29th, obviously, because February doesn't have the 29th, 30th, or like 31st. So Hannah, for the reoccurring draft date, we can do any day between the 1st and the 12th. Which day is going to be best for you?
The 7th.
The 7th. All right, cool. And then I do that. I type in all the banking info. And then whenever I solidify the deal, I say, now, Hannah, the first premium is going to come out sometime this week. And then it won't come out again until the 7th of October. And now let's say that you're like, oh, Nick, the money's not going to be in there. And then I would say, Hannah, what do you mean? So like, you don't have 70 bucks or $150 in the bank account? Whoa. Okay. So like, can you transfer it from another account? Always ask them that. And then they may say yes. Because these veterans got money. Okay. Okay. Can you transfer it from savings? I do the do not draft as a last resort. I think some of you are too quick to do like a do not draft. That's bad business. It's going to bite you in the rear. Okay. Because if they don't got the money today, what makes you think they're going to have it next month? Come on now. So if they're like, hey, no, I just don't have the money. I'm broke. I got $0 to my name. Whoa. Let's cut the premium in half from 120 to 60. Will you have 60 bucks in there? Yes. Write up the $720 deal and walk away. You do not sell a broke person a policy for more than $100 a month. It's always going to charge back. Always. Always. Keep it under 100. Okay. Keep it, to be honest with you, keep it under 60. If they ain't got the money, again, it's up to you, but I would walk away, you know, or like reduce it down, because I don't do not drafts. I've just learned that that's just bad business. It always falls off. And you waste your time, and then you give yourself false hope too, because you're like, oh, cool, I got a deal going through this week. 7 out of 10 times that deal's not going to go through. Okay. I got a 91% 4-month retention because I'm very strict with these rules, you know? And I don't walk away, you know, like, it's not like I'm leaving money on the table. There's no money to leave on the table. So if they don't got the money right now, chances are they're not going to have it next week. So hopefully that answered your question. But again, the bank verification tool tells us the truth. You know, if that bank verification is not green, I'm very, very scared because they don't got the money in there. So maybe try to do the bank verification for a smaller amount and see if it turns green. And then I would down close them. You know, walk away with a $60 check. Again, that's still 720 ALP. You know, you do 2 of those a day, you're at 1,500. I would rather be at 700 solid ALP than 1,500 shaky ALP. Remember that. I would rather, Will, you write 4,000 a week solid ALP, like solid, than 6,600 of like, we don't know if it's going to go through. Because this business, folks, you get rich with what sticks. The business that sticks, that's what pays. Okay. It's not the business that you sell and you get a nice fat paycheck this Friday, but then it charges back next week because they didn't have the money or they cancel. Okay. Now cancellations happen. Even the people that tell you that they can afford it, like the check turns green. And I mean, they still can't, that's still gonna happen once in a while. But try to stay away from do not drafts. Try the best you can, so and leverage that whole thing that I told you. Hey, we're going to draft it sometime within the next week, but then we're not going to draft it next month. We're going to draft it the month after. Sometimes that gives them a little bit of relief, but you got to know how to manipulate the draft dates because we're never going to draft them within 30 days of another draft. So an example, if I set it for the 7th, we're going to draft you sometime this week, but then it won't come out again until the 7th of October. You guys follow me? See? Just a little pro tip right there. And then I sort of like over embellish on that. So it's like, hey, we're going to give you a break in September so that you don't have to pay. We'll ding the bank account sometime within the next few days. Won't charge anything in September, and then it'll pick back up in October 7th. Okay. Okay. Questions? Hopefully this is valuable, y'all.
I have one, Nick.
Shoot.
Okay. Earlier when you were talking about the first close is made over the phone, I was thinking we do have a down close for when we are presenting options when we're selling our packages. Is there, other than the reasonable man, a down close for getting the right people or somewhat right people onto the Zoom? Because we don't want to just cherry pick the easy rollovers that'll just go straight to Zoom. We do have other value there. How would you handle that besides reasonable man?
Matthew, you bring up a great point. Y'all, listen, if you don't have 8 booked appointments each day, you're missing the boat. So let me walk you through my mindset. If you were to take all my money away from me today, all my phone setters, everything, and you just give me a lead pack, here's what I would do. I would have a game plan set up today of, okay, I'm going to go for the right now flips. So I'm going to try to flip them right now. If that don't work, I'm going to book him for later today. And if that don't work, I'm going to book him for tomorrow. But I'm going to make sure that I get at least 4 presentations today and at least 8 appointments booked for tomorrow. Don't get it twisted. Just because they can't jump on Zoom right now, that's okay. That's still a sale, potentially. Get them stacked for tomorrow. And book in 30-minute increments. So you want to double book every hour from 12 to 8 or 12 to 6 or 3 to 9. Pick your hot time. I would do it during prime time, 4 to 9. I would book a 4 to 4:30, 4:30 to 5, 5 to 5:30, 5:30 to 6, 6 to 6:30, 6:30 to 7. Guys, all the business I write, and I was the #1 veteran producer in the world last week. All the business I write is on pre-booked appointments. 0 flips. Now, I'm not telling you to abandon flips. That'd be stupid. Do not do that. But I feel like sometimes we're like, if I can't flip them, I'll book him for a callback appointment. Don't book callback appointments. You're killing yourself. Ever. I feel like if I were to look on your I mean, you know, your calendar, don't book callback appointments. Book them for a for sure solid appointment for tomorrow between 4 and 4:30, or, you know, ask them what time of day is best for them, and then give them 2 options, and then solidify the crap out of it. Also, if you don't have a Calendly account, here's a little pro tip. Download Calendly today. What's up, Oakland? Man, she's getting so big. It's crazy. Hi, baby girl. Get a Calendly, and then whenever you book the appointment, put it in your Calendly, and then make sure you text the appointments the morning of and a half hour before. Morning of, half hour before. Guys, all the business I write is on pre-booked appointments, so let that give you hope that if you have a hard time flipping people, as long as you stack 8 appointments, you're gonna look at our, listen, the data doesn't lie. Our show ratio yesterday was 58%. That's excluding my numbers. My show ratio yesterday, I had 9 appointments. I sat down with 3 of them, you know, or no, 4. So it was roughly 50%. And all those appointments were booked Sunday. So don't sleep on Saturday and Sunday appointments as well. Very strong day for you to get a leg up. So if you're money hungry like I am, like I was when I was brand new, Sunday is the best day to stack up appointments for Monday. Don't get it twisted. That's what all my phone setters do. They all work Sundays, and they book up for Monday. I'm throwing a lot of gold at you right now, but Matthew, to answer your question directly, as far as the tone goes, man, you really just want to have a matter-of-fact tone with them. Obviously, the sooner that we can get this done, the better. You guys have like 15 minutes that we can carve it out right now and just get it out of your hair. Or get this out of our hair. You know, can we just get this out of our hair like right now? It's like you're doing them the favor, they're doing you the favor. And then a lot of them are like, yeah, okay, cool. You know, especially if it's a widow, she's watching daytime television, right? Some of them can't, you know, do it right now, and that's okay. Say, hey, listen, Matthew, just so you know, I don't work banker's hours. I'm actually working late tonight to wrap up the territory. Write that down. I'm working late tonight to wrap up the territory. So if it's okay with you, can I book you as like one of my last appointments for this evening? Be super, super quick. So that's what I would say. I'm wrapping up the territory today. And then, oh, okay, that won't work. Okay, tomorrow, what time of day is going to be least hectic for you and the missus? Tomorrow, what time of day is going to be least hectic? Notice I didn't say which time of day is going to be better or best. I always want to assume my clients are the busiest human beings on earth because you're showing them respect and you're proactively beating that they're already busy or that, you know, tomorrow's going to be a bad day. Hey, so tomorrow, what time of day is least hectic for you and the missus? Morning, afternoon, evening? She said, or, you know, he says evening. Okay, cool. And then you give him the 2 time slots. Which one's going to be better? And then you lock it down, tell him to grab a sheet of paper, write down your name, give him a confirmation number, right? Follow the script, guys, like verbatim. But I'm just giving you little golden nuggets that you can kind of add to it based on the scenario. Okay, question?
So what do you mean when you say like wrapping up this territory
Yeah.
being?
So that's a very good question. That's a little trick that we use to add an element of urgency because we do lead shuffles twice a week. And so Matt's leads may go to you, your leads may go to Matt every Monday and Thursday. So we don't know if this lead's going to be taken from us tomorrow. So that should give you a sense of urgency that your leads, now that lead will be replaced with another lead, but we're constantly cycling the leads through and circling them around the team. So the client should know that. Never call them a lead. Don't tell them about the lead shuffle. You just tell them that I'm working late today because this may be my last night in this territory. So if they're in the state of Virginia, we may be pulling that lead from you and replacing it with a Florida lead or with an Ohio lead. See? And so by adding that element of urgency, the client's going to be a little bit more incentivized to maybe move their schedule around tonight to squeeze you in. See? But if we're just like, we're not busy, you're not busy, when can we do this? That's why you're not given 4, 5, 6 presentations a day. And if I pick up your lead pack, I'll burn it up. I guarantee you, anyone's lead pack on this call, and this is the God's honest truth, I can get 6 to 7 presentations today out of your lead pack because I'm a highly trained professional. But everything I do, I literally just taught you. There's nothing else that I do. Okay. So you want to get really, really good at phone setting, at getting appointments, and then transfer that strength to the home and really instill that sense of urgency. Like tomorrow's not promised. Hey, can we think about this and just call you tomorrow? No, that doesn't exist there. It's either we enroll you today or you got to wait till next service period, which is this time next year. Okay. And that's just in fairness to all the other veterans that are waiting to be seen. The good news is, Matthew, these benefits you own, control, and can adjust at any time. So there's no risk, So, if they make sense, and the benefits make sense, they just ask, right? That's B1 in the script. You got to really, really believe that, though. Can't just say the script. Because I know some of you, maybe you say that, but you don't really believe it. Well, yeah, I could just call this guy tomorrow. Not anymore. Because that lead's probably going to be taken from you tomorrow. And so you've got to believe that, because sales is a transference of belief. So if you believe that there's an out, guess what the client's going to believe?